Welcome to Entrepreneurs and Fuego. Did you know that we have a new slogan? Actually, we have a slogan, and it's documenting your journey one digital footprint at a time. And I had to look at it. I haven't memorized it yet. That's terrible, right? I mean, I should know these things prior. I mean, but that's okay. We're here with an amazing person, and we're going to hear her story. Ruth Hay from Renascii Law Practice. And Renascii, of course, has got a story. The name itself has a story behind it. How you doing, Ruth?
Doing great. Thank you for having me. Happy to meet everyone and get to know you.
You look nervous, man. Relax,
I am nervous,
man.
but I'm fine. I'll be just fine. Thank you.
You will, trust me. So Renascii, what is that? Is a combination of a couple of things, right?
Yes, the Renascii is built out of two components.
Right.
So I used to live in China, and Ren is Confucianism for how people should treat each other. It's the golden rule. And ASCII is modern computer code, which is the mechanisms for communicating with people nowadays. So you put the two together and you have a modern law firm that is concentrated on really looking after its clients, how people should treat each other, and being virtually paperless. I do most things over without paper. It's cheaper, efficient. I'm able to be much cheaper and faster than the larger law firms.
But the reason that you're here, and what I like about you is the fact that you specialize on women entrepreneurs and women-owned corporations, right?
Absolutely. I was in corporate America for over 15 years, and I was predominantly negotiating transactions, and I was working, and I would come across so many situations where the big companies didn't care. All they wanted was women in the door. You know, they would do, and the smaller businesses, and especially the women, didn't understand what they were signing. They didn't get treated well. They were totally exploited. So I just couldn't live with that anymore. So I decided I'm going to go out and actually balance the scales and actually go see if I can help these women, especially women, because oftentimes they come to me, they're starting fresh, they've been married, they've had a divorce, or they've started up a business, and there's no one for them to go to hold their hand. Or they go to the big law firms and they just get turned away because they can't afford them, or they get completely exploited. So I decided that's what I'm going to be doing. I have some amazing clients that have come to me from people that own food trucks, that do jewelry, they do massages, and all they need is just a little hand holding every now and again, or sometimes they need the hammer. Last night I had to put the hammer down, to someone that was exploiting them, but there's no one for them to turn to. So that's why I set up what I did.
So in other words, a women-owned business, and in fact, the largest growing segment of entrepreneurs is women. It truly is. Our membership here at the office, 65% of our membership is women. And so we can see it tangibly. And what you do for women entrepreneurs, I think, is remarkable. What specialty do you have where somebody can come in with to you? Are you a litigator, or just are you reviewing documents? What is exactly that somebody with a specific need would go to you? Why would they go to you for?
Okay, so my primary focus is the transactional side.
Okay.
But to get them to that level, I have to help them with their formation. Sometimes they want to go find some investment, but the investors won't speak to them until they have all their documents set up.
Right.
So they've gone ahead and they've been so busy getting their business up and running, they're trying to get their products, but they haven't done any of the formalities that need to go with that. But if they go to the bigger law firms, suddenly they're facing $5,000-$6,000 bill for what? So, I mean, I've done 2 this week alone. 2 ladies came into me and said, I only want $20,000. I found this wonderful person that will invest in me for a little equity in my company, but I need all this paperwork. So 2 hours worth of my time, I was able to give them all the paperwork. Now they're happy, they can go back out. So I do, and then likewise, if they're having issues, I don't do the litigation. What I do is I've made a nice network of women like myself who support other women businesses and small community attorneys. There's such a need for them, and they're all predominantly women. They do immigration and litigation and intellectual property. So I know where to send them, and I know they're going to get looked after.
One of the things that would detract me from going to you, though, would be the perception that if I'm going to go to an attorney, that's going to be so expensive.
Right.
Maybe I'll just do it myself. I'll just go into the internet,
right.
Find out the document template,
right.
and just do it myself. But that's
right.
not good, is it?
Well, in some cases, I have actually told clients to go do that.
All right.
I mean, my rates are significantly less than the bigger law firms because I'm not running a big law firm. I'm not feeding a big family, and I'm running a paperless office. And so, my fees are a lot less. But what I do for my clients is I give them reassurance. Everything is a fixed fee. You know what you're paying, and you don't even give me upfront payment. I trust you that you will pay me. So I do everything on a fixed fee basis, and I send you an invoice at the end. And most things...
Can I wear a wig and be your client right now, man?
So most things are like $250, or I think last night, because I was doing so much formation work, I had to charge her an hour and a half. Okay. So it came in under $400 for her. And now she's able to go back to her investor and get everything lined up, and now she can go buy more product, So I have a lady that owns a chocolate shop. She needed a new machine. She literally come to a stop. She couldn't do anymore. And she had these clients. She needed a machine.
Okay.
To get the machine, she had to get financing. To get the financing, she needed to show she had all her paperwork. And all she needed was some basic formation work. Again, it's easy for me to help her out with that.
So let's
and then she has a template. She can run it going forward.
Awesome.
She doesn't even need to come back.
Awesome. So let's talk a little bit about you. Let's. So you were in corporate America for 15 years. Mm-hmm. And you opened up your practice how long ago?
Very recently.
Very recently, a year ago, 2 years ago?
No, we're talking under 3 months.
3 months ago. So that's very recent.
Yes.
So what happened? So did you just wake up one day and go, I got to do this, I got to fly?
Actually, 2 years ago, I had a light bulb moment. I was sitting in a luncheon put on by a local nonprofit called AWE, and they really look after women that need a second chance in life. Maybe they've spent a little time inside for a drug offense or a DUI, and they really help them get reestablished back in the working community. And they had these 4 fabulous women. They put them on the stage, and you heard their life stories about how just this one small opportunity helped turn around their life. And I made a promise to myself, if I can ever get in a position to do that, I want to form my own company, and my end goal is to be able to bring on women like that. So I can have them come in as a receptionist or a paralegal, have them work for me for 6 months, have a good name, a good career, off you go, and then we'll start again.
Was there a mentor? Was there somebody that you were looking as your guide, as your mentor, that you said, I want to be like her, and that also kind of propelled you to be your own self and your own business?
I don't have a role model, which is why I'm trying to make this work myself. But what I have done is I've come across some fabulous women who have been inspiring, but they have not had the opportunities that I've been blessed to have. And I want to give them that. There's this wonderful woman. She was beaten to the verge of death by her ex-husband. And there's no acrimony because he was disturbed from he came back from the wars. So I mean, it's not pleasant, but it's understandable.
Right.
But I became very good friends with her. I brought her out to Arizona. We literally rebuilt her. She now has teeth. She now has a face. Right. And we rebuilt her courage. And she's 65. She can't go back into the employment world, but she's going to be with us for 25, 30 years.
Correct.
And she's a beautiful soul. So what we did was, said, okay, what do you want to do? What's your passion? So we set her up in her business. I said, okay, well, let me support you with that. So it's women like that that really make me get up every morning.
So you had to find it within yourself. I mean, you didn't really have a role model that you said, I want to be that person. And in fact, people listening to the show, looking at the show, women looking at the show, they're going to go, that's a compelling story, because now they find you as a role model. And this is what the show is all about. And so you had that moment, and finally
You have to understand, and forgive me for interrupting.
Go ahead.
I was raised by a family, and you can tell from my voice, I'm not American, I'm from...
Let me guess, you're from Mexico.
Yay! No, I was...
Guadalajara.
Okay, I normally go to Australia or New Zealand, but I was born in England, and my parents were born at the end of the Second World War. Now, if you know any history, that period of time, everyone was damaged. There's a lot of mental stress, a lot of physical stress, a lot of environmental stress. So my parents were raised in a completely different era, and they were lucky just to survive. So, the country was destroyed. All the things that are in place today, people take for granted, weren't there. Well, my father and his uncles, and they didn't believe at the time in educating women. None of my sister, myself, my cousins, none of us were educated. Once you got to 14, you were done. Just find yourself a man and get married. What's the point? We're not going to invest in you. Wow. And the schools were the same. Well, girls didn't study physics. We weren't allowed near a computer. We didn't do woodworking. We got sent to child development, home economics, and a little bit of biology maybe, so you know how babies are made. That's pretty much it. But my father did give me a gift. He trained me to be a musician. My sister was a musician too. He says, this way you can always earn a living.
What do you play?
I used to be a violinist.
Oh, wonderful.
So I used to tour the world before I trained as an attorney as a violinist. And he always said, push comes to shove, you'll work in a bar, you'll make money. You know, not ideal. But also at that same time, having that old school theory with what was going on at the time. In that time, we had Margaret Thatcher, we had the Queen, hell, we had Madonna.
Sure.
You know, so you were getting these conflicting messages. You could be whatever you want to be. Oh, no. You just need an income to make money and find yourself a husband. So I didn't receive an education beyond 14. I could barely read and write. Now, at some point, I woke up and said, this is insane. So I left home at 14.
Wow.
And I basically did things that weren't ideal. If I was having my life over, I wouldn't do it. But I educated myself. And then by the time I was 21, 22, I realized I actually have a brain. I can do stuff.
And you can do whatever you want.
I could do whatever I want.
Sure.
And then, of course, I met this wonderful man, and he didn't want to be hanging out with a woman that was uneducated. He didn't like the fact I was a musician. I was always on tour. I was always misbehaving, you know. So he turned around and said, if we're going to be together, you make a decision, you know. So he said, what do you want to be? I said, I want to be an attorney. So I put myself through law school. There I was in my mid-20s, learning to read and write, do basic math. I'm doing what I need to do to get to law school. And I went to law school and I did it at night, you know. So I turn around and tell people, if I can do it, you can do it, you know.
That's an amazing story. So here now, let me hear about your wild side. So were you playing at bars or concert halls, or where were you doing? Bars.
There was a lot of bars, but I was predominantly with orchestras. I was the one out the front, because I was actually pretty good. I was the one out the front in the pretty dress doing all the solos with the orchestra behind me. So I would be on tour with like hundreds of people at a time. Now, if you're a teenager on tour with other teenagers, misbehaving adults, you know it's not a good situation. And we would have very interesting competitions. That's when I met my now ex-husband, but when I met him, I said, all that has to stop, you know?
Oh, man. So all right, so now, 3 months ago, you start your practice, and
right.
what's that experience for you? Because now, you're not only an attorney, but now you're an entrepreneur.
Right.
Because now you are depending upon yourself for your livelihood.
Right.
Right? I mean, you don't have anybody writing you a check, so
no.
How was that experience?
It's very freeing, and I love it. You know, I think that helps me with my practice because I am experiencing what my clients are experiencing. We're in the same boat. You know, you succeed, I succeed. I understand the pressures you're under. Cash flow is everything.
Sure.
Clients are everything.
Sure.
You know, so I actually I think I have a much better understanding of what these clients have coming in to see me.
Perfect.
That I understand these pressures. That's why I don't ask for a ridiculously huge retainer up front. Who can come up with that money?
Yeah.
You're coming in for a specific purpose. Okay, here's the price for that purpose, and then once you're happy, then cut me a check.
The best advice that you can give somebody that is thinking about starting their business, what would it be? Men or women, whoever?
Believe in yourself. You know, especially women, we are told that, we're trained not to be assertive, we're trained to second guess yourself. So just believe it, have the passion, go out and do it. You can start over as many careers as you want. You know, you don't get one shot, you learn more from failure than success. It doesn't work, start another one. You know,
correct.
Be a role model for your daughters. That's my thought, sorry.
You don't have to apologize. Never give up, right?
Right,
Never
keep
give
trying.
up.
Doesn't work, try something else. Don't just go hide, do something else.
Do you still play the violin?
I bought one for Christmas, but I haven't played it yet. But in my house, I invite people over, and I have small groups of musicians and artists, and they come and do little discussions in my house. So I enjoy everybody else playing.
Favorite violin player?
Oh, Yehudi Menuhin.
Okay.
Wonderful man, wonderful story.
Yeah, Perlman is my favorite.
Oh, and he comes to Arizona pretty frequently.
He does, and that would be something. You and I have a date to go see Perlman whenever he comes in.
Wonderful.
Yeah? You're going to come back and see us again?
Absolutely.
Your story is remarkable. It's just an amazing story that I really hope inspires a lot of people. This show is about, you know, documenting your journey, how you're going to do, you know, in the next year or two. We're going to come back and kind of revisit. How was it? We'll play your interview. We're going to go, you know, how are you different, you know, in 2017?
Well, hopefully by then I'll have a larger practice and I have all these wonderful women working for me and a fantastic track record of showing their successes.
Amen. You'll have new friends. things fly around here, and this is, look, we're going to give you a little gift. This is from the Office Pile. This is the first culturally diverse co-working space in the United States. So we're going to give you this T-shirt so you can wear it whenever you play your violin, man.
Okay, thank you.
You're going to come back and visit us.
Absolutely. Thank you
Thanks
so
a lot,
much.
Ruth. I appreciate it. We're out.
Thank you.
Welcome to the remix.